Am I the only one that's noticing all these different time loops, dimensions, and different timeline top episodic episodes of Space Dandy? Because seriously, they have had these type of different storylines a lot in the course of Season 1 and Season 2 of Space Dandy. I mean, seriously, last episode was Dimensions. This episode, it was pretty much the flow in the River of Time. We had all of last season Space Dandy that went with freaking time looping constantly. I mean, there's a lot of different episodic episodes based on time. And it makes me believe, as I said many times in my last review of Season 1, I said that most likely all these different episodic episodes are going to lead in together, and we're going to have a really major plot reveal at the end of this series. But either way, okay, looking past that, let's talk about this episode. This episode was a darker turn to Space Dandy, and we get to see this episode start off with this tiki freaking alien dancing by himself, playing a musical instrument, and at the same time you see that people are leaving him and not wanting to listen to him anymore. And so in turn it leads this tiki alien to be depressed, very depressed, and just all by himself in this jungle. Now, as the episode progresses and starts off, you see that you have Dandy and you have Meow pretty much have an argument about whoever's sketchy and about the correct song, and at the same time, you just see that Dandy is tired of people looking down on him, calling him a space bum, saying he can't capture aliens. All these different things that people have called him is finally starting to wear down on his mind, and so he goes off on an adventure to discover where this alien hot babe that sent him a fan mail letter is at, which is fucking hilarious. It's really hilarious how Dandy goes off to find this alien girl. Now, when he gets there, he finds this tiki alien and thinks, oh, you're not the girl? Oh, you are the person that sent the letter, but you're not a girl, and so he tries to leave. And here's where the episode gets rather dark. The dark part about this episode is that this tiki alien is literally dancing and making everybody petrified into statues, and he's trying to find the right smile for these individuals, and he wants to get into their body to have a proper smile, which is very disturbing if you think about it. So he wanted Dandy, the best person he's ever seen with the best smile he's ever saw, and so he wants to petrify Dandy and get inside of his body, which is really dark, very dark. So after we find out the events of that, you have Dandy grab his friends. He makes a declaration saying that I can no longer smile again after what you did to my friends, which is very different for Space Dandy's character. He barely ever does that. The way he acted shows you he actually has some form of character development in this episode. And so he goes to the River of Time, which the time part comes into this episode, and he tries to throw them into the river to try to fix them to where they were at a time in their life that they weren't statues. Now, in the middle of this part, I liked how they did that, especially with Dandy starting to ride and all that on the waves. It looked really fucking badass. It brought memories from the first season of Space Dandy when you saw Dandy blowing up that planet and just riding on the freaking like debris of a planet. This episode really didn't have a lot of comedy. I want to be straight out honest. The comedy in this episode, there wasn't much. There was some comedy, but not much. I think this main focus of this episode was just to show you a different aspect and tone of Space Dandy, which Space Dandy is known for. It had a couple of dark episodes in season 1, so I like it how they changed up the mood and tone in this episode, and it definitely was fitting. It really was. I liked this episode. But one thing, though, that got me was that song at the end when Space Dandy plays the musical instrument after the tiki alien dies and burns to death. He says, oh, that's the song. Pretty much that was linked right towards the beginning of the episode when you had Meow and Dandy arguing about what song that was. The song that it was the tiki aliens doing that song with the jiggling or whatever. I forget whatever he called it. But still, the point is that Dandy was correct. He wasn't sketchy, and he did hear that song, but at the same time, he heard that song from the past, even though it was in the future. So, yeah, timelines are mixing, and once again, that goes to prove my theory about multiple timelines. So, anyways, everybody, tell me your thoughts on this episode. What was your favorite moment about it? What'd you feel about this depressing dark turn to Space Dandy? And what'd you feel about how that Tiki Demon wanted to have a true smile, wanted to steal Dandy's body? And do you feel like the actual story episodic episodes we've had from Space Dandy are eventually going to lead into one true plot? Let me know in the comments below. And also, what do you think about that freaking gorilla mother? That was, oh my god, that was great. I laughed my ass off on that when the mother just slaps on face like, you hairy gorilla. That was great. So anyways, please be safe. Chibi out.